What is good, my ninjas? It is your boy Matetsu coming at you with another Phantasy Star Online 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about the difference between these two weapons. We're going to be doing a versus video. Again, I know I just put one out not too long ago, but we are going to be doing a versus with not only the upcoming new best in slot weapon, the Neos, but the current, in my opinion, best in slot weapon, the Clovis. Now, of course, I pre-recorded this already, but I had to redo it because I did limit break my Neos Katana, which I did get to drop naturally. Didn't have to turn in anything. It dropped naturally, just like this. So, I mean, of course, not with the augments, but it dropped naturally out of the urgent quest. So, let's get into this video. So, of course, you have the two best in slot weapons, in my opinion, which is the Clovis and the Neos. Now, which one is better is the real question, and we're not going to be just looking at the base power, because if you're looking at just the base attack power, of course the Neos is going to come out on top with an attack power of 761. Now, of course, the Clovis is right behind it with the 746 attack power, but of course you got the Gunblaze, which is in between that, which outshines the Clovis in the attack power. But unfortunately, its potential is trash, and that's where it really comes down to, is the potential. So first, we're going to be going over the reigning champ, which is the Clovis. He is currently the best in slot, in my opinion, just because of his instant death potential. It's a potency of plus 19%, damage resistance plus 5%, with a potency plus 6% and damage resistance of another 5% towards dolls. Now, that's an extra 6 and 5% on top of what it already has, because you're fighting against dolls, which is just crazy good, in my opinion. That means it's a passive potential that constantly perks. You don't need to do anything except fight. I love that. That's, in my opinion, that's what makes this weapon the best, is because of its potential, because it gives you that 10% damage resistance on top of the 24% potency that you get on top of it. Now, of course, I ended up getting the Fixa attack level 3, which comes with another plus 4% potency, so that brings it up to 28 potency altogether, which is fantastic. Now, taking out all the augments off of it, not looking at the augments, this is currently the best in slot, just because with the Gunblaze has a higher attack, but its potential is trash, just because because if you get hit, that potential goes away for a fixed amount of time. Now, we look at the current Neos Katana that I have. The Flowing Spring potential has a potency of plus 32%, a Photon Blast gauge charge when attacking plus 25%, and then you have the PP consumption reduced by 15% for 90 seconds after using the Photon Blast. Now, in my opinion, this is why this makes it the current best in slot, just because it has that current non-needing to proc anything potency of plus 32%, plus the fast charging rate of plus 25% that you get. That's just doing nothing. That is the passive. Now, the only negative on this is that you have to use the Photon Blast to get that reduced 15%, which in my opinion is what makes this, is what kinda is the negative portion, just because you want a time when you use the Photon Blast. You don't want to just keep on proccing the Photon Blast whenever you want. You have to time it so you can get the best amount of DPS out of that Photon Blast. So that's why, in my opinion, it kind of makes this potential a little bit weaker, but in my opinion, it still is the best in slot, just because of the first two portions of the potential, which is the potency plus 32% and the charge rate of plus 25% that you get. So, of course, if you compare the two, really, I would have to say that the Neos just comes out on top just a little bit more, just because of the simple fact that you have that plus 32%. And this, mind you, has no Fixa attack on it. It has no fixed attack, so that is a flat out 32% that I'm getting on it. I have to have the level 3 fixed attack on the Coclophis just to be able to get within the limit of what its flat is. And in my opinion, that's why the Neocestraean comes out on top a little bit more. And of course, this potential is across all of the weapons. They all have this, so it doesn't matter what you're going to be using. I'm just using these two as references for you to go off of, just because these are the two weapons that I use. Of course, it is completely different when you're talking about, you know, tech or forces or hunters, whatever the case is. But these potentials are concurrent across all the weapons, so it doesn't matter if you're looking at a katana. It's the simple fact that you're looking at the potential. And just with the instant death and the fixed attack, the potency comes up to 28%. That's still a 4% negative on the 32 that I currently have on the Neocestraean that has no fixed attack on it. Now, if you were lucky enough to get a level 4, level 5, which in my opinion is extremely crazy luck, God bless you. That is some really good DPS you're going to be putting out. Now, if I can, in the later future, get something that drops with a fixed attack, then I will be putting that on my Neocestraean. But for right now, I'm just going to be rocking with it bare bones. But this is just my honest opinion. And as you can see, just with the stats that I have, when you go from down to up, I'm losing out on attack, and I'm losing out on the weapon up, and even damage resistance. I'm losing out on it. Now, of course, that goes with the augments that I put on it, which in my opinion is almost the same exact augments, minus one or two things. But all in all, I'm losing out on weapon up. I'm losing out on that. I'm going down negative 3.8% on my weapon up, versus with the Neocestraean, I am at a hot 70.3%. So take it where you know, take it or leave it. It's just my honest opinion. I will be doing more verses like this with, you know, the current best in slot with the next potential best in slot. So I will be constantly doing these, or just with these seasonal weapons that have potential of being best in slot. So just leave a like on the video, subscribe for more, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out, my ninjas.